The girl arrived at the hotel intending to surprise her boyfriend, but when the door opened, she found him with another woman. Her boyfriend, Zhang Fan, showed no remorse. He unleashed a barrage of cruel words and admitted he had never loved her. He explained that he had stayed with her only because she was pretty and easy to control. He mocked her for refusing intimacy during their 3 years together and insisted he was a man with needs. The other woman laughed, taunting the girl and waving a wad of cash. The girl accused him of cheating and demanded a reason, then announced their relationship was over and told him to move out of the apartment she had paid for. The ex-boyfriend and his new lover sneered and accused her of being with other men. Enraged, the girl slapped him across the face. He raised his hand to hit her back. In the next second, a man from the hotel room next door burst in and grabbed the ex-boyfriend's arm. The stranger called the ex-boyfriend a scumbag for trying to strike a woman and warned him to mind his own business. The stranger insisted that he was making it his business. The ex-boyfriend accused the stranger of being the girl's new lover. Without hesitation, the stranger launched a brutal beating, threw the ex-boyfriend to the floor, and pinned him with his boot. He demanded to know whether the ex would move out of the apartment the next day. Terrified, the ex-boyfriend agreed. The man then turned to the girl and asked if there was anything else to settle.
你还有什么要跟他算清楚？
没有。
When she shook her head, he took her arm and led her away. He took her to his room and offered her water. As she cried, he bluntly said that it was better she found out now rather than after becoming pregnant. He observed that he did not think she had ever truly loved her ex, reasoning that a woman who truly loved a man would not wait 3 years. A loud knock came at the door. The police were outside after receiving a report of prostitution in the ex-boyfriend's room. The ex and his new lover attempted to lie. The police noticed the cash scattered on the bed and immediately arrested them. Just as the girl felt a wave of relief, the police turned their attention to her and to the mysterious man who had intervened. The man offered the girl a bottle of water, but she hesitated, afraid something might be in it. He told her not to worry and opened the cap for her when she was too weak to do so herself. He called her a little kitten as he handed the bottle to her. As she drank, water dripped onto her chin. He knelt down and gently wiped the water away. The moment made her heart race. He stood up and said he was going to take a shower, then stopped to point out that she was sitting on his underwear. The girl leaped up in mortification. He reminded her that ignorance was no excuse. After leaving the hotel, the girl went straight to the apartment she had shared with her ex and packed a suitcase. She left her old life behind for good. Meanwhile, the man returned to his auto repair shop. He stripped off his shirt, revealing a powerfully built physique, and began his work. Later that night, he drank with his coworkers while they teased him about seeming lovesick.
他可感觉是思春了。你是不是想女人了？
One friend joked that the beautiful owner of the barbecue stand had been asking after him, but he showed no interest. When asked what his type was, he described his ideal woman as fair-skinned, with big eyes, quiet, and cute. His friends accused him of liking schoolgirls, which he angrily denied. He said that if he could not find his ideal woman, he would find someone to settle down with. Then one of his friends pointed out a beautiful girl walking down the street. It was the girl from the hotel.
眼睛大，皮肤白，跟你说的一模一样，长得文静的姑娘。
The man froze and silently left, leaving his friends stunned. He found her on a street corner when 2 thugs on a motorcycle approached and began harassing her. They grabbed her suitcase and assumed she was a prostitute. The man appeared and ordered them to let her go. When the thugs asked who he was, he declared that she was his woman. He felled one thug with a single punch, grabbed the other by the collar, and forced an apology. The girl begged him to let them go, and after he threw the thugs to the ground, they sped off on their motorcycle. She thanked him and called the encounter a coincidence. He asked where she lived. When she pointed to a nearby building, he took her suitcase. Instead of merely carrying it, he lifted her onto it and sat her on top. She asked what he was doing, shocked. He stated that he was taking her home and began pushing her down the street. He cornered her in the hotel hallway and reached for her face as she backed against her door.
我刚才看到你的时候，还以为我在做梦。
She flinched, and he gently wiped a tear from her cheek. Still shaken, she admitted that seeing him on the street had felt like a dream. She said she was leaving the big city for good and returning to a quiet life in her small town. When he asked why she was staying in a hotel instead of at home, she revealed that her family's house had been demolished and she had nowhere else to go. A plan started to form in his mind. He told her not to fear him and said that if he was going to take her home, he would do it properly. He entered his number into her phone and told her to call him anytime she needed help. For the first time, she learned his name, Chen Li. She introduced herself as Su Yuan.
你又帮了我一次，
那你打算怎么谢我呀？
我请你吃饭怎么样？
And offered to buy him dinner to thank him again. He accepted, sealing their informal date. After she left, he called his friends with a mission to help him pursue his sister-in-law. His friends went to his old neighborhood and bribed elderly neighbors with gifts. They described Suyuan her fair skin, large eyes, and the silver bracelet on her wrist and instructed the neighbors to send her to Chen Li's house if she came looking for a place to rent. The neighbors, eager to play matchmaker for the boy they had watched grow up, happily agreed. Chen Li went to a furniture store and stunned his friend, the owner, by announcing that he was buying furniture for his wife. He purchased a new sofa, a lamp, and everything he imagined she would love. He worked tirelessly to transform his simple house into a perfect home. The next day, Suyuan arrived at the auto repair shop. One of the workers became flustered and rushed to fetch a clean stool for her. Chen Li was busy under a car when his friend shouted that there was an emergency. Chen Li, annoyed, asked what kind of emergency. His friend looked at Suyuan, then back at the car, and whispered that Chen Li's future wife had arrived. Without a word, the man snatched a half-eaten ice cream from the girl's hand and took a bite, leaving her stunned that he would eat what she had already eaten. Earlier, she had brought her broken scooter to his repair shop and discovered the mechanic was a man from her past named Chen Li. He fixed the scooter in minutes and refused payment. He even gave her the ice cream for free. When she tried to pay, he insisted that formality was unnecessary. Overwhelmed by his boldness, she attempted to leave, but got her hat tangled in her hair. Chen Li gently untangled the hat, and his touch flustered her further. He asked whether she had found a place to live and offered her an empty room in his house. Panicked, she fled. While searching for an apartment later, she asked an old woman about rentals. The woman's eyes lit up as she said she knew just the place. What the girl did not know was that the woman was Chen Li's neighbor. The neighbor produced a sketch Chen Li had drawn of his dream girl, which matched the girl perfectly. Knowing Chen Li liked her, the neighbor led the girl to the house. She explained that the landlord was a handsome young man, too busy to show the property himself. The girl loved the room, especially because it had a private bathroom. Assuming the busy landlord would rarely be around, she agreed to rent immediately. The old woman said she would call the landlord to come over. As the girl waited and wondered how handsome the landlord might be, the door opened. It was Chen Li. She froze in shock when she realized her new landlord was the same man who had eaten her ice cream. To get closer to the girl, the man deliberately quoted a high annual rent of $20,000, knowing she could not afford it. When she shyly offered $10,000, he accepted, pretending it was a good deal while having already set a trap. Now officially housemates, he insisted on taking her shopping for necessities. He told her that because they were like family, she did not need to be polite and could use his free labor at any time. That night, after finishing work at the repair shop, he told his friends he could not stay for drinks because he had to get home to his wife. Back at the house, he found that she had cooked dinner for him. He praised her cooking dramatically and said that a wife's food was always the best. He promised she would not have to cook alone again and offered to help with chores. After dinner, he suggested they watch TV. He put on a romance movie, and when a kissing scene appeared, the girl became extremely flustered and tried to run to her room. He grabbed her wrist and pulled her back onto the sofa. He leaned in and told her it was just a kiss, teasing her for being shy. She quickly ran to her room and locked the door, heart-pounding and unaware of the romantic trap he had carefully set. She walked out of the bathroom after her shower and found her landlord standing shirtless. She froze and stared at his toned body. She asked why he was not in his room. He said he had just gotten a drink of water. A moment later, his nose began to bleed. She handed him a towel, and he warned her not to dress so revealingly at home, blaming her for his nosebleed and saying he needed to calm down. Feeling guilty, she decided to cook him a special meal the next day to help reduce his so-called fire. The next morning, she woke to find he had already made breakfast and left a note. She texted him about the rent, but he told her not to worry and said she could pay at the end of the year. When she joked that she might run away with the money, he replied that he would find her even if she ran to the ends of the earth. His friends at the shop saw him smiling at his phone and teased him about chasing his new wife. That evening, she cooked for him again. He declared it too hot and promised to buy groceries from then on, saying that anyone living in his house was his person and he could not bear to see her work so hard. She served him pear soup she had made for his nosebleed, but he said it would not work. When she asked what the real cure was, he reached in and touched her foot under the table, implying that only she could help him. Later, while they watched a cartoon, a rat appeared. She screamed and leaped into his arms, burying her face in his chest. He held her tight and comforted her, a smirk forming as his plan to get closer to her progressed perfectly. She had feigned fear of a mouse and fallen into his arms. When she tried to pull away, he held her tight and accused her of using him. He said she was too naive, which explained why she always got hurt by scumbags. Those words cut her deeply because they referred to the men now standing before her. Humiliated, she fled to her room and forgot her shoes. The man immediately regretted his words, realizing he had reopened a painful wound. He followed her and pleaded for forgiveness through her locked door. He promised to kiss her if she kept crying. When she finally opened the door, he apologized sincerely. He vowed that if he ever saw the man who had hurt her, he would beat him senseless. In a tender moment, he knelt to put slippers on her bare feet. Overwhelmed, she told him he should not be so nice and warned that his future girlfriend would not approve. His face hardened. He angrily called her an ungrateful wolf and stormed out. Back in the restaurant, the thug leader leaned close and mocked her, asking where the tough boyfriend who had tried to protect her was. Another thug laughed and reminded her how they had beaten that boyfriend and his brothers. She tried to remain calm and said her boyfriend was just getting some beer and would return any second. She warned them that they would be finished if they touched her. The thugs only laughed harder, convinced she was alone.